Hi everyone, Leanne here from Reboot Mindset Coaching. I want to have a chat with you about what's really going on here. Okay, so everyone's freaking out about this virus. The virus is going to ruin us. You know, financial hardship, relationship breakdown, job insecurity, this virus. No, it's actually not the virus. Sure, it's a serious thing. I get that. I'm not downplaying that at all. We really need to pull our heads in here and do the right thing. But it's not the virus that's actually causing what you're going through at the moment. It's actually overwhelm. Okay, so overwhelm is what's stopping you from getting the solution and being able to find your way out of this, because overwhelm is a thing that your brain does to get you to do something. So our brains are not designed to hold on to stuff. They're designed to process stuff. So when you go into overwhelm and when you go into overthinking and all these things are going through your mind, the purpose of that is because your mind is actually wanting you to fall onto a solution so that you can get rid of it. Okay, that's the purpose of it. So overwhelm is what's stopping you from arriving at a solution that's going to make everything okay. So let's imagine that the solution and all the great options are there on the shiny shelves and they're all beautiful, and it's Boxing Day and the sale's about to start. The glass doors are closed and all the crazies are on the other side pushing to get in, all the crazies. So your mind is the glass door, okay? All the crazies are all these thoughts that you're having right now, you know, and they are seriously doing your head in. Yeah, I can see you nodding. So they're all forcing their way in and it's too hard. And all you want to do is just sit in the corner and just go, I can't do this. I can't do it. Because all you can see is just doom, struggle, doom, and things not working out. And if that's the case, it's only overwhelm, okay? And you are so powerful that we're going to undo it together, okay? So overwhelm is your mind's response to kick you in the ass to get you to do something. So when people go into fear, very few people will go, oh, I'm scared. Oh, I might have a cup of tea. No, we don't. We freak out. We look around, we go, what can we do? That's what our mind's job is. It's that primitive. It's simply kicking you up the butt, trying to get you to do something. But what happens is we don't identify it for what it is. We go into overwhelm, we shut down, and life turns to shit. So there's a few things that you can do right now. First of all, recognize overwhelm for what it is and understand what it isn't. So what it is a psychological response. That's it, okay? Because everything that you're worried about right now hasn't happened yet. Hasn't happened, but you can see it happening. And because we process information visually, your mind's going, shit. And it's actually creating the response in line with what you're thinking, okay? So overwhelm is a psychological response. There is nothing and no one out there that can actually create this response in you. It doesn't have the power to. It's a psychological response. That's it. You know, when you say things like, they made me feel, this is doing this is creating. No, it's not. What we're doing is when we say that, all we're doing is saying, you know, the answer's out there. That's got to change before we can actually feel better. No, you have the power to actually feel better right now, in this second, here, because you are that powerful. You know, look at what you're using your power for right now, using your power to freak the hell out. So let's just realize that that's actually your power. Let's turn it around, okay? So recognize it for what it is, which is simply a fear response designed to kick you in the ass to get you to do something. Your brain doesn't know it's going to happen. And that's one thing your brain hates, is actually not knowing how things are going to end, okay? So when it doesn't know how things are going to end, it really is going to freak the hell out of you, okay? So recognize it for what it isn't. It's not fact. It's not guaranteed. It's not certain, okay? Secondly, allow it to be there. Just go, okay, I'm not listening right now to all these messages, and understand that when you go into overwhelm, you're actually actively blocking any kind of creativity, any kind of solution finding, any kind of results, okay? When you choose overwhelm, you are literally saying, hang on a minute, solutions, I don't have time for you right now. Just wait over there. I'll get to you in a minute. Okay? That's what overwhelm does. Overwhelm's like the 2-year-old tantrum thrower that actually solves nothing. So realize, the other big thing is realize that multitasking is not your friend. No, it is not your friend. If you consider yourself a multitasker, stop it. Because you know what multitasking does? It is a first-class ticket into overwhelm. When you've got all of those things on the go at once, you know, the only time that multitasking is probably effective is, you know, when you're making dinner and you've got all these different things that you need to be doing. Cool, that's fine. They all need to be done. But when it comes to worrying about stuff that you need to do and stuff in the future, no, multitasking is not your friend. In fact, it's going to send you straight into overwhelm. So whether it's in a work environment, a relationship environment, or even if you're going shopping, you know how it is when you go shopping and you've got, let's just say, 10 or 11 things that you've got to buy, and you go through, as you're driving there, you go through it in your mind, you think, yep, got it. Okay, I know what I need to get. All of a sudden, your brain goes back to number one and goes, hang on a minute, let's go through it again. Yep. Oh, yep. Okay. And then the minute you finish, it goes back again because it's trying to regain all this information all the time. Take it out of your head, slap it on a post-it note, on a piece of paper, in the notes section on your phone, whatever works for you. The minute you take information out of your head, put it down where you can see it, suddenly you disassociate from it, you put it outside of yourself, and it simply becomes a task, and it doesn't have an emotional response attached to it. Okay, so then you go through your list and you go, what is it I need to do? And you pick one thing. Do that one thing. And you'll be amazed at how that one thing will make a difference. It's a bit like the overloaded camel or the donkey, you know, that just can't take another step because it's carrying too much. You know, you don't need to unload the entire load in order for that camel or the donkey to keep going. Sometimes you just need to, you know, take off a little bit and we're good to go again, okay? So I'm not calling you a donkey or a camel, but hey, if it works for you and that analogy actually makes sense, go with it. Take your thoughts out of your head, put them onto paper, make a list of what you need to do, prioritize them. You know, do one thing at a time. That's really going to help you, and understand that multitasking is not your friend. Another great way to reduce overwhelm is to hack into the parasympathetic nervous system. So, you know, when you're in overwhelm and you're overthinking and suddenly your mind is like a freight train and it's heading straight for absolute disaster. When you use this little technique, what you actually do is you pull that lever and you send the train down to a much better solution, okay? So what it is when you are tense, when you're angry, when you're fired up, you know, this is your body actually acting at a really primitive level, getting your muscles ready to either fight or to run away, okay? Because that's how we're designed. It's how we're designed. So that's why we get tense. You may be feeling that your shoulders are a bit sore. You might feel like your back's sore. You might have a bigger headache. You might be locking your jaw. You know, things might be stiff. You might be sore. Hack into that. All you need to do is just for a couple of seconds really overemphasize that and tense every single muscle in your body. Like really tense it, you know, like you're having a constipated moment, you know, like everything's really, you know, really tense everything. And then after a couple of seconds, actively release everything. Relax every single muscle, because what that does is it pulls that lever on your train tracks and determines your mind's going to go down a better path. Because, excuse me, when you are relaxed and your muscles are consciously not tensed, when they're relaxed, your brain literally goes, hang on a minute, there's no threat here, because that doesn't happen to my body when there's a threat. So if my body's relaxed, then it goes, okay, cool. You know, it's a really simple thing, but it's you've really got to hack into that parasympathetic nervous system, you know, and use it. Another thing I want you to do is I want you to remember another time when you were facing something similar. Perhaps you'd lost your job. Perhaps you were facing financial hardship. Maybe your relationship had turned to shit, whatever it is. And I want you to look back at it and I want you to realize that the feelings that you're having right now are the exact same feelings that you were having then. and you got past it. You actually coped with it, even though at the time it was really hard. You know, you couldn't see a way past it. In fact, it was a lot like what you're feeling now. But you got past it. You actually survived. So your survival rate for this sort of thing is 100%. You know, so there's no reason why this won't be either. The big takeaway from this is to realize that overwhelm is actively stopping you from finding your solution. It's actively stopping you, because you can only come up with a workable solution and find a creative way out of this and find calm and be okay once you reduce your overwhelm, because then your mind can get to work doing what it does best, okay? Which is finding a solution. And who knows, you may even surprise yourself. You might even come up with an idea or a way of coping that you would never have thought of before. And who knows, maybe it's going to be the making of you, okay? So I really, really want you to understand that it's not the virus, it's not the job, it's not the money. All of those are contributors, but they're not the sole cause. What's actually freaking you out right now is not that, it's overwhelm. Once you reduce your overwhelm, and I know that sounds really simplistic, sure, but seriously, once you reduce your overwhelm, you can sit in it, see it for what it is, realize what it's not, and actually find a way forward, okay? Whether that's making a phone call, whether that's having a conversation with someone, whether that's actually sitting back and going, well, maybe we should try this. You know, just reduce the overwhelm and you will be okay. I promise you. If you're having trouble, let's chat. Book a free consult. Won't cost you anything. Go onto my website, rebootyourlife.com.au. Book a free consult, bring your own coffee, and we'll have a chat. You know, and then if you want to proceed and do something, you can actually book an hour-long session through that same website, rebootyourlife.com.au, and understand that it's my job to recognize where you're at and to give you the tools to get you out of it. Okay? That's my job. I can do it. Overwhelm is a bitch, but you're a badass. I'm a badass. So two badasses together is no match for overwhelm. So when you're ready, drop me a line, rebootyourlife.com.au, even send me a message. Let's chat. Pull that train lever and get you into a workable solution. And then you know what, a few months down from here, you're going to be going, oh my God, what a gift this was. Because you're going to come up with solutions that you never had even imagined. And overwhelm, 0, you 1. Let's beat it. We can beat it together. Rebootyourlife.com.au. Talk to you soon.